I was sitting in the oak-paneled room of my aunt's lawyer's office when the door swung open. My parents, two ghosts from a past I had buried, walked in, smiling like wolves. "Sweetheart," my mother purred, as if the last 10 years had never happened. My father put a heavy hand on my shoulder. "We're your guardians. We'll help you manage everything." I didn't flinch. I let them bask in their performance. Because they thought they had walked into a game they already won. They had no idea I had rewritten the rules. 10 years ago, I was 15 when they left me at a train station with a torn suitcase and $40. They said they needed a fresh start. I wasn't included in that vision. My Aunt Evelyn found me sitting on a bench, rain dripping down my face. She took me in, fed me, clothed me, gave me a home. She wasn't just my savior, she became my family. Meanwhile, my parents lived comfortably off lies, debts, and favors. I never heard from them again, not until Evelyn died last month and her will surfaced. Suddenly, they remembered they had a child. The signs of betrayal were obvious the moment they reappeared. They didn't come to mourn Evelyn, they came for her wealth. I saw it in the way my father's eyes lingered on the word estate, how my mother leaned forward at $3 million. I didn't let them see the disgust boiling under my calm expression. Instead, I started planning. They thought I was still the abandoned child they discarded. They didn't realize Evelyn had taught me patience, foresight, and the art of silence. So I played my role, the dutiful, slightly overwhelmed heir. I let them believe I was naive. I let them whisper about guardianship and control. What they didn't know was that Evelyn anticipated their greed. She had prepared for it, and so had I. The day of the will reading, the lawyer cleared his throat. Per the last testament of Evelyn Harrow, her estate, valued at $3 million and the residence on Hawthorne Hill, will be inherited in full by her sole beneficiary, her niece. I kept my face unreadable while my parents exchanged triumphant glances. My mother's hand squeezed mine under the table, like we were suddenly a team again. That was the first act of their downfall. Then the lawyer continued. Additionally, Mrs. Harrow left a stipulation to address any potential claims of guardianship or financial interference. The estate has been placed under a trust with joint oversight by myself, and the door opened. My second lawyer walked in, carrying a briefcase. The same lawyer I had hired months earlier, anticipating this very moment. Her niece's chosen representative. My parents froze. My lawyer sat down beside me, nodding once. My father's voice cracked. "Wait, guardianship laws say—" My lawyer cut him off. Calm, precise, deadly. "Guardianship laws don't apply. Your daughter is 25, an independent adult. You abandoned her as a minor, which means legally you relinquished all rights. We have records, court documents, witnesses, and Evelyn's written testimony." The blood drained from their faces. I leaned forward, finally breaking my silence. "You left me, remember? At that train station, 10 years ago. You don't get to play parents now." My mother tried to recover, her voice brittle. "We were young, we made mistakes, but we can fix this, together." I shook my head slowly. "No, you don't get to fix this. You don't get to touch this. Not the house, not the money, not me." My lawyer slid a folder across the table. Inside were restraining orders already filed, barring them from contacting me or attempting to access the estate. "Any violation," my lawyer said smoothly, "will result in immediate prosecution. And considering your outstanding debts and fraud history, prison isn't a far reality." Their hands trembled as they skimmed the papers. That was the second act of their downfall. The third act was mine. I reached into my bag and placed an envelope on the table. My father opened it, and I watched his face collapse. Inside were copies of emails, texts, and loan records, proof of every scam, every unpaid debt, every crime they had committed in the last decade. "I didn't just plan to keep what's mine," I said. "I plan to make sure you never use me again." "The authorities already have copies. By the time you leave this office, investigations will begin." They sat in silence, pale, trembling, small, exactly how they had left me years ago. When they finally left, their smiles long gone, I felt no guilt, only release. Evelyn had once told me, "The best revenge isn't loud, it's quiet, it's undeniable, it's survival." My parents thought they could walk back into my life and take everything, but I wasn't the abandoned child anymore. I was the heir, the strategist, the survivor. And as I walked out of that office, the weight of the house and the fortune behind me, I realized the truth. Revenge doesn't always need fire. Sometimes